drama of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Welcome to the Geek Matrix, DC Comics review show number 175. My name is Rob, and
Legacy
I'm.
number 4,531.
Thank you. I am laughing hysterically at Josh's frozen image when he tabbed out of his screen to start the recording.
Oh,
And when he tabs out, his screen freezes, and it was just the creepiest fucking smile. Oh no,
no.
you can't replicate it, Josh. Trust me. I posted it on Discord.
Oh, great.
I had to.
Fantastic.
It was great. I'm just giggling to myself.
Poor people.
right under the announcement that we are starting the live stream as well. It's on general chat. So
Okay.
anybody that joins can see it.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh,
All right.
Man. Who are you again?
Who am I?
Yeah.
John Cena. No, I am. I'm Rob. Hello. You've heard my voice already. I'm sure you know who I am. And with me, you've heard his voice also. It's Josh.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's it going,
Yes,
man?
sir. Well, fuck. It's all right. Got a promotion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Congratulations,
I mean, kind of. So it's like half a promotion. Where like. So in my job, there's like regular like worker.
Yeah.
This just does like organization, cleaning, and maintenance and whatnot.
Right.
And then there's me who, in the retail world, I do what the projects where I'm like setting the new stock, building displays and whatnot. And I basically run my own show. And then above me is the supervisor who runs the entire show, but mostly leaves me to do my own shit. So I am now in a new position where I'm the team lead, which is a liaison to the supervisor. So I'm going back to doing the grunt work. So I'm no longer doing my projects, but I am also technically leading the team. So I'm like, as much as I'm going backwards, I'm also going forwards. So it's kind of weird, but like, it's more money, so I can't freaking complain.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah,
Money. It's what pays the bills.
I start Monday, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm gonna miss my job, but gotta make waves in the world, you know. Gotta make some moves.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So we're here to talk about DC Comics.
First, Josh, I want to talk about, well, at least celebrate a little bit. I finally got Medicare coverage after all this time. It's been over a year. In January, I'm gonna be able to get my oxygen, get all my medicine every month, and I mean, being honest, man, my teeth are kind of messed up, so I might even need to get dentures. Speaking of which, I will never understand why they call them dentures and not substitutes.
My God, you're right. I am all for great wordplay and combining two words to make a better word. I am only calling them that from now on.
It is so much better.
Substitutes, yeah.
It's substitutes. That's what it should be. That's what it should have always been.
That is fracking genius. I love it. Oh man, now that's a dad joke I can get behind.
Good. Yeah, I almost posted that one in Discord, and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna save that one for the podcast.
Keep that in the back pocket." Yeah. Oh yeah, just like the thing I shared the other day. The most dangerous kind of canoes are volcanoes.
Yes, volcanoes. I want to pronounce it like that forever now. Yep. I do.
Or do we call canoes canos?
Oh no.
Where it's mostly a wooden boat, except for one part of the front. It's just metal on one side.
Beautiful.
Yeah. occasionally shoots lasers and swears in Australian.
I can get behind it.
Behind Kano was the only safe place around Kano.
Right?
Yeah. Especially if there's multiple Kano, hence Kanos. Right. So okay. Well, that's
Buttloads of comic books.
Comics, yes.
So
I did my news. You did your news. Do we have
many comic books?
Geek news?
I mean, outside of wrestling, no, not that I'm aware of.
CM Punk. CM
Yeah,
Punk.
CM Punk is back.
CM Punk. CM Punk.
For better or worse, it's going to make interesting television.
Or 10.
And we get an RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Actually, not out of nowhere. We really thought that was coming. A lot of people, I mean, all of us really were like, is he better? And has he healed enough? Has he had enough time? It's been almost 2 years, and he sure as hell seems confident in it. So
yeah.
Speaking of which,
did he do one? I think he did two.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I hear he is heading to SmackDown.
Oh,
right.
Interesting. I did find it surprising that all three returns were on Raw.
Yep.
It definitely seemed like Randy was going to be Raw exclusive since he had a match Friday night, but it could be free agent status. So maybe he could just be anywhere.
And it could. All I know for sure is that he's going to be on SmackDown on Friday, tomorrow,
right.
Or today, if for those listening.
Yeah, whenever you're listening. He'll be on SmackDown last week.
Yes. So I don't know if it's a one-off or not, but given the fact that his storyline is building toward a blood feud with the Bloodline, yeah. I would imagine we'll see him sticking around on the SmackDown brand for a while.
I could definitely see that. Give the Bloodline like something to do, because like I don't even know what Jimmy and Solo are doing right now. Do they have a story going with anybody?
So the story basically with the Bloodline is Roman don't come to work anymore.
Yeah.
Solo is being touted as the baddest man of the Bloodline, and we still get tiny hints that he's going to be the next tribal chief.
Oh God, yeah. And
then we have Jimmy, who is not drinking and driving, but he is acting crazy, and running around just trying to impress Roman Reigns. Nobody knows if he has been officially welcomed back into the Bloodline quite yet. There's been no official word. So with all of this going on, at any point Roman could show up and say, "What the hell are you doing?"
I don't even like the whole thing that Jimmy went back to the Bloodline, because they had a whole big thing. You know, Jimmy was out, and then Jay was out, and then Jimmy was trying to team with Jay, but then they had scrap going on. And then Jay was out, and Jimmy was still out, but now Jimmy's back in for no reason, even though Jimmy was trying to get Jay out. Like, why is Jimmy back in?
That's the part that got me. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, cool. The Usos are out, but then they just swapped places, and Jimmy going back to the Bloodline, like it just didn't make any sense.
No, it really didn't.
Didn't make any
really
sense
did
at
not.
all.
They should have had Jimmy maybe try to get Solo out, but then that won't work. So then Jimmy and Solo have a program together, and it ends in a Jimmy versus Solo, brother versus brother match, but Jay's not involved because Jay's elsewhere doing his own thing, and he's rocking it. Jay really is in a good fucking spot.
He's living up to his nickname.
Yep. Main event Jay Uso, baby.
Now, given the little bit that we know, before we hop into the books, because sweet baby Tom Cruise, we've got a lot of them.
Sweet Christmas.
I'm going to say we are definitely, I'm calling it now, we are definitely getting another draft next year.
Oh, yeah. They used to do it every year, so.
Well, I
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
But Yeah,
Let's face it, this year's draft was dumb.
yes, very stupid actually.
Drafting factions now. Okay.
It was aggravating as hell. And like, not one single tag team got broke up.
Yeah, there was not a single shakeup.
Nope, just swapping some talent. That's it.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the amount of headliner talent that they have now secured or developed, they don't really have a choice but to swap some around, because right now SmackDown is hurting.
Oh God, yeah. I saw a picture yesterday of just like I meant to send it to you. Champions on Raw versus champions on SmackDown. So you have champions on Raw. You have Rhea, you have Seth, you have Gunther, you have tag team undisputed with Finn and Priest. You have, who am I missing? Fucking they counted Dom because he is on there as an NXT champion. And I know there was one more, but I don't bloody
Logan Paul's the US champ, but he's not Raw brand. He's free agent.
But it's a SmackDown title. That's the thing. So like SmackDown has Roman, they have Logan Paul, and they have Io, and Io is the only one that is there every single fucking week.
Yep. And
you can argue that Priest and Balor are also technically SmackDown, but they are branded to Raw, so it's kind of iffy to call it that.
It's because they're still walking around with 2 fucking belts apiece, and that
exactly
shit is
like
dumb.
They need to split up the tag team championships.
They really do. There's enough tag teams that are out there that are fleshed out there. There's rumors for more tag teams on the way to WWE.
Yeah.
It's time to separate the titles. There's more than enough talent to make that work. Your tag programs are second only to the women's division, and then men's comes in third as of right now. In my personal opinion, as far as qualities of matches go, that's where we're at.
The women's tag title, that's Raw now, yeah?
Yes.
As well. So even that's on freaking Raw.
It's Pippin,
and your favorite Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Oh my God, I hate hearing her name announced.
But I love how Samantha Irvin does it.
No.
Samantha Irvin is the best announcer I've ever seen.
I'm always gonna have maybe not. I just forgot what his name is.
Finkel?
No,
Mean Gene.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Shoot.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't remember his name. Yeah,
I used to know it right off the top of my head, but apparently he has left my heart. So
he
don't
wasn't
remember his name.
He wasn't
Michael
permanent
something?
WWE though. Yeah, I think Michael was in his name somewhere. But he wasn't like permanent WWE. He was like
he was
he
very
was a
special
boxing
occasion.
announcer.
Yeah. So if it was WWE, my favorite.
Justin Roberts was pretty awesome, but
not bad. Not bad. But
I love the way he said John Cena.
Yeah.
Like a motorcycle revving up.
Yeah, I would have to say that my favorite of all time from WWE is gonna be Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah.
He was
Mean Gene was awesome.
Did
he do like the announcing of the superstars, or was he just a backstage interviewer?
No, he did both. He did both for quite a while, and then he did just go backstage when they brought in somebody younger.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Mean Gene's a good pull. Howard Finkel was good too.
Finkel was not bad. Finkel wasn't bad. I always thought the person that should be out on the mic, because he's such a loud personality, and he would have been able to throw his shenanigans into the announcements, and I think that would have worked awesome, is the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. I think he would have been awesome in that role.
Yeah, that would have been really awesome. He didn't even need the microphone. He had the megaphone.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, honestly, though, Samantha Irvin, she's
great.
Fucking beauty of an announcer.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah.
just in her voice alone.
Yeah.
Especially when she gets up into the ring and she puts that growl in her voice, she's just
Yeah.
amazing. Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. But
And
yeah,
like
we
I've
need
seen
to
I've seen a
dump
lot of
Chelsea Green.
I like
There's a better Chelsea Green in
entertaining.
NXT.
Yeah, but she's on NXT.
She shouldn't be. Tiffany
I
Stratton.
I can agree.
Tiffany Stratton is developed,
Yeah.
and I think that she needs to be pulled up to main roster right now. Speaking of which, the only other person that I would say that about from NXT right now.
Braun Breaker.
Ooh, gross. No.
Why not?
First place because he needs to go all the way back to personality school. His shit is tired and done. And hey, I remember you from 1993.
Yeah, remember Hulk Hogan? Yeah.
Axiom is a phenomenal
awesome.
in-ring personality, talent, excuse me, and his personality is really good. I like what they do with him there. And then, of course, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes.
That's what I was gonna say. Trick. Yeah, I was trying to remember who was the NXT champion recently, and it was Trick Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, and they're both just awesome.
Wait, did Trick win it?
They both have held it, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah.
Carmelo
Carmelo needs to come to the main roster too.
Yeah, because I mean they are top level talent. Unfortunately, I think if they lose, if they let go of Stratton, and Carmelo and Trick, they're gonna lose a shit ton of their draw. Because I can tell you, Corbin is not putting people in their seats.
He hasn't been for a while, but like.
He's doing great to bring people up.
Yeah, I think that's why they brought him back there. They didn't really have much to give him in the main roster, so they put him back in NXT to help elevate the show a little bit.
And I think that I wouldn't say Baron Corbin is elevating the show. He's elevating the
that's what I mean.
Talent there to do so.
Yeah,
and I think his personality fits very well with the role that he's in right now.
Yeah. He had a decent run on the main roster a couple of years ago. So
yeah, one that I never quite understood. But
no. I mean, it started out where he was rich and the whole Baron shtick, and then he was King Corbin, and he was still rich, and then there was this whole thing where like he gambled all his money and lost, and he was broke Corbin. And apparently that is the best work he's ever done, and everybody loved the gimmick of Broke Corbin. He always came out in the same white dress shirt, was barely ironed. It had the same mustard stain on the shoulder, and like every week, because he just couldn't afford any new clothes or proper wrestling gear. Like it was really fucking good. His hair was always a mess. Like it was.
I can't even picture Baron Corbin. I can't even picture him with fucking hair now.
I know.
That's crazy. Oh, you know the one thing weird about him that I love that isn't around. The biggest thing about him that I am happy, that makes me happy that he's gone, is that JBL is gone.
Yeah, fuck JBL.
Fuck JBL.
Yeah.
Fuck him. Before I go on a tangent on all of the things that I wish that were changing now, like getting Michin up into the top rosters, because that's where she deserves to be. Michin not being a fucking valet.
She's not really a valet. She's just in a stable.
Doing what?
I mean, she's wrestled more than the other two guys in the stable.
More than the Bullet Brothers, who Luke and
fucking Gallows and Anderson.
Gallows, yeah, Luke Gallows, and I can't remember Anderson's first name.
Yeah, Carl Anderson.
Carl, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think she's even like. Recently, she definitely wrestled more this year than AJ.
Maybe right at the same level, because the majority of her shit I've seen is backstage stuff. The most recent thing I've seen her in was getting an ass beating from Damage Control.
Yeah. She did a lot of stuff at the beginning of the year.
Okay, I must have forgot
Yeah.
all of that.
I think she was involved with some tag team stuff as well. When the title was like changing hands fucking constantly,
Yeah.
and the people kept getting injured, and she got involved because they needed someone to fill some shoes because they were dropping people like flies.
Man, look, this is gonna sound horrible for somebody to say. It really is, and
Then don't say it.
I don't want it to come across that way. But this is just personal opinion from in-ring talent, on-screen personality, and the shenanigans from backstage. Sonya Deville getting her ACL torn is probably the best thing that's happened to the women's division in the last year.
Holy fuck. Jesus.
Because they were pushing her so hardcore.
Yeah.
We were seeing her on TV every week, and she just wasn't any good. Just wasn't any good. And much like Chelsea Green, they're really pushing that hard.
I mean,
for no reason.
When Chelsea was teaming with Carmella for like 3 weeks, thought that was a perfect match. And if they had stuck together, would have been great. But Chelsea and Sonya, yeah.
Thanks, Corey. Fucking
yeah, keep it in the pants, Corey Graves. Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
Bad enough. It's bad enough you're a dickhead on the microphone.
I used to think that, and then I listened to Kevin Patrick every week.
Oh, well, yeah. Kevin Patrick is a whole different thing.
Yeah. Like, I feel for the guy. He definitely tries. He's just not good.
Yeah. That's for sure.
It's
Kevin
given
Patrick
me a new appreciation for Corey Graves.
And what's the other dude's name?
Wade Barrett.
Yeah, Wade Barrett. I'll take Wade Barrett any day of the week if I had to choose between the two. Between
Kevin Patrick and Wade Barrett?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Wade Barrett's actually got a personality. Like...
Patrick,
and he was a wrestler. He knows his shit.
Right. When Road Dogg came in, I hadn't heard Kevin Patrick talk so much in the entire time. It was like he was worried that Road Dogg was going to take his job, and it's like he's obviously just there for a one-off.
Yeah.
But he should totally get that job.
Definitely, yeah. Put KB back in backstage doing interviews.
I would rather have Byron on the fucking microphone commentating.
Yeah, he actually has done it in some live shows, like in WWE Main Event. Mm-hmm. He did it there for a while, and I think he might have done it on SmackDown for a little bit years ago. I don't remember.
4 or 5 years ago, I went to a dark match in Nashville, and no, excuse me, it was like 6 or 7, WWE? 7 or 8. Jesus Christ, I've been in Georgia way too long. But I went to a dark match, and he was announcing there, and it surprised the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, Byron Saxton, what a class act.
Yeah, but you ever been to a dark match?
No.
It's definitely different, man. It's
I can imagine,
because it's like you get whatever, and you get cross promotion shit, no storyline kind of crap, and it just shows up, and you get to watch a cool match.
That's cool.
It's definitely not like being on TV, which is what I really, really hope is what I'm getting for my birthday. But I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
Would you prefer Raw or SmackDown?
Raw. Raw, baby.
Yeah, get that Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Get that.
I would want to bring the kids.
Yeah. And
I would be holding them right up, and I'm like, my kids are way too cute to not give your belt to, Cody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way too cute.
You just gotta watch that you're not like there's no kid there with the sign that says Cody, give me your belt, because Cody will always give it to that kid.
Yeah. Unless
if you see a kid like that, make a heel turn and just tear up the sign.
Yep.
And then the hope that Cody just sees your kids. Oh god, no! Don't do that. You'll get your ass beat.
It's like, we could exploit them. Cody, give me your belt. I have autism.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
I mean, he does tend to favor, the kids that want it most. So I think.
I mean, yeah,
Laying down a sign. Maybe just bring a bigger sign.
yeah.
They're always little white ones, and I'm talking. Let's go billboard, man.
Yep.
Get yelled at by the
I
people
want to
standing
block
next to me.
15 rows, not just 2.
Yes, please. No.
Yeah.
I want to be right up there on that corner where they make the turn at the ramp. That is where
Yeah.
I want to be.
That would be badass. Those tickets are hella pricey though. Like
$400 to $500 for a live
Jesus,
Raw
I
show.
know. But that's like honestly, I want to take Haley to one too. I hope that as she gets older, she still likes to watch wrestling with her daddy.
Mhm.
Because right now, even being a year and a half old, like she'll sit on my lap sometimes when I turn it on. She'll hear the intro music and she'll get excited and like come sit on my lap and watch a match and then run off because she gets bored. But
That's
like,
what
she'll
happens with my kids too.
yeah,
Unless
she'll
they
sit on
hear,
my lap
"Dun,
and then she'll
dun,
like
dun,"
yeah,
and then they'll come flying across the house. And I don't watch wrestling with my hearing aids in, so I have an excuse to blare it.
like she'll sit on my lap, then she'll stand up, turn around, go, and then put her hands up, and then go just fall on me, like she's giving me like a like basic. My mom calls it a smackdown. So
There you go.
yeah, basically an open hand axe handle. But yeah, I hope when she's older she still likes it, and I can take her, and she can be in the front row, be at the ramp, get a high five from her favorite wrestler.
Well, my kids won't. Their favorite wrestler, at least right now, is John Cena, and he's done. I haven't told them yet. I have
really?
not told them yet. Yeah.
Shit. I mean,
Yeah.
at least you have 20 years of matches to go back and watch with them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Sure
Are
do.
you going to show them his first match with Kurt Angle? You ever seen it? What?
Yeah,
What's
I
with
want to
the-
say so. He was the prodigy back then, right?
So back then he was just like a noob. Like when he was in OVW, he was the prototype.
The prototype. Yeah.
Yeah, but then when he went to the main roster for his debut match on, I think it was SmackDown,
Yeah.
he just came out in like red shorts and boots and started Ruthless Aggression and wasn't like anything. He was just like he was a rookie wrestler that came up to challenge Kurt Angle. So he didn't have a gimmick at the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I feel.
It was interesting.
Yeah, because it was when Kurt was in the middle of the ring and he issued an open challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I do
like,
remember that.
Who
Yeah.
in the hell are you? I'm John Cena. And what do you think that you bring to the table where you can challenge me? Ruthless aggression. Beats him in the face, yeah. And that started the Ruthless Aggression era.
It certainly did.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, John.
And that era was pretty awesome. You had Batista, you had Orton, you had Cena, you had Brock Lesnar for 2 years. And then he was gone for 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The OG part timer.
Yeah.
The modern day OG part timer.
Yeah.
The king will always be Hogan.
Fuck
Or
Hogan.
at least was Hogan. Roman is beating the pants off of him now, I feel like.
What, for being a part-timer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say I'm in love with Roman right now, or if I ever was, but fuck Hogan.
Man, I mean,
I'm all for Iron Sheik in this scenario. Fucking Hulk Hogan now too.
right. I've always been a Roman Reigns
Jabroni.
fan. Always.
Yeah.
I loved him when he would walk out into the ring as a face personality, and the whole crowd would boo him. I'm like,
God,
what are
yeah.
you fucking people doing?
Because he was boring. He didn't do anything exciting. He was
he needed a personality created for him.
yeah.
But up until that point, all he was the, you know, part of the muscle of the Shield, where he didn't need to have anything, just that black
Yeah.
vest, and he was set.
And that was maybe the best work he's ever done.
I
Was
would
time
say
in
the same
Shield.
as of John Moxley as well.
Yeah, like I didn't mind Dean Ambrose in his solo run, but it wasn't fantastic.
No,
Um, and then
Dean
John
Ambrose
Moxley right now, like I haven't watched enough AEW, but like he looks like he's got Dean Ambrose insanity with like Seth Rollins wrestling. Like it's
Dean Ambrose solo reminds me of the guy you have to wake up at 2 o'clock that's sleeping at the corner of the bar.
yeah, and be like, buddy, you got a match. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And then he'll win. Like,
Man, you need a shower too. I'm just saying.
yeah. Nah, so like Roman is in at least he was at that time that you're explaining when everybody was booing him. Same place as how a lot of people feel about Hogan now. Same place as John Cena in the late 2000s and early 2010s. Same place as Austin Theory was over the past couple of years, being pushed as the poster boy, the face of the company, the superstar that the company says you're going to love, but nobody wants to be told that you're going to love someone. Because if you look at Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, LA Knights, no one was told to love them, but we loved them nonetheless.
Because of who they were and the personalities they brought to the table.
And the personalities. Their talent was immaculate. They like you said, they brought stuff to the table. What do you mean? Yeah.
I mean, I
Dolph
wouldn't go
Ziggler's one of the best
immaculate.
talents
I can't
in
say
the ring ever.
Nobody is immaculate as far as in ring. Everybody, even the greatest of the greatest, stumble. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, have missed marks and
It's
all
always
going
going
to
to happen. But you definitely have people who know what they're doing and are good at it versus people that come in, do what they need to do, and get out.
Billy Kidman.
Talk about Billy Kidman. Doesn't that fucking what's his name? Oh my god, I always forget his name now. Billy the Kid.
Yeah, it was
Oh my god, X-Pac.
Started out not X-Pac.
No.
He wore the
I'm thinking of
shirts and the wife
one-
beater,
one-
long greasy
1, 2,
hair.
3 Kid. I was thinking of 1, 2, 3 Kid. Sorry.
He is exceptionally underrated and one of the best in-ring talents ever, because you could put him in the ring with any style of wrestler, whether he's going over or under, and it would, no matter what it was, it would be a spectacular match.
Fair.
And I mean, he's working behind the scenes in WWE now, but
Yeah.
definitely one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
Because he was that boy was magic in the ring. You
Yeah.
could put him up against Kevin Nash, or you could put him up against Rey Mysterio, and he would work both matches fantastic.
Yeah. Really, I can't wait to see Brian Pillman Jr. show up.
Yeah.
his
We'll
his
see.
dad was really good.
His
And
dad
from
was
what I
really
hear,
good. I
he is
feel
really
like
good.
Have you seen any of his matches yet?
I haven't yet, but I've been hearing he's really good.
Okay, because I haven't seen him yet either. When there is, just like you just mentioned, telling us who we're going to love, there has been so much push on Brian Pillman Jr. in just the articles about him and covering him, that it's like, man, you put this dude on fucking TV, because, I mean,
I want to see it.
I need to see this shit.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me that he's a legend in the making. I need him to show me.
Yeah. And we're still waiting for Jade Cargill too.
Oh, God,
I actually
I can't wait.
forgot, but apparently, like, it's a case of that she's still training at the
Development Center.
Developmental center, and apparently it's her own choice.
Yep.
Yeah. So
She said it's on my time, which works for
Exactly.
me.
yeah,
I can't
like,
wait.
by all means.
I've seen little bits of her performing, and she's gonna be a force to reckon with. In ring, I hope her personality on the mic and backstage is gonna match it. But if she can do that, she is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
For sure. And then Liv Morgan popped a baby out. She's coming back.
Yep.
Makes me
she,
happy.
She could come back, but she might still take a year or so off.
It better not be or so.
I mean, she just had the baby. Don't expect her back next month.
Let's take a look at that adjective. Had a baby.
If I was a dummy, I'd say let's take a look at that adjective. But I'm not a dummy, so I'm gonna say let's take a look at that verb.
Did you ever see that original promo where Nash is shit talking Bischoff?
Yeah.
That shit was something else.
That's where the big boys play. Let's take a look at that adjective. Play. Yeah. All right there, Nash. Yeah. I just love that Knight just made that callback just to fucking throw shade at him.
Well, it was a retaliatory shade because Kevin Nash was the one who initially put out this whole he's just a rock stone cold.
Oh, I thought that came out after LA Knight said that.
No, that was before. That's why he did that.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck you.
I know he didn't say dummy. I think he said idiot. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I'm saying dummy because of his stuff when he was in Impact.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched clips of the dummy button?
No, I have not.
I really want him to bring that back. It's just a button.
When he was Eli.
Yeah, when he was Eli Drake, he would go on a rant. LA Knight with his rants, fucking amazing. And he would just go on a rant about somebody, call someone a dummy, and he'd push a button and go, dummy, yeah. And he'd go, yeah, right after, like, dummy, yeah. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And I don't know if I told you, but a while back, I figured out what this is. Or what this is.
Oh, yeah, apparently it's Eli Drake.
Yeah, Eli backwards. I'm like, what? Yeah. Oh, my God, I see it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he throwing up gang signs? I mean, I just looked at the picture you shared on Discord. That's horrible. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Don't join the Discord right now or you will be frightened, dear listeners.
It's not that bad.
I always am that bad. Speaking of which, there are some books that definitely are this week too, but there's some other ones that aren't.
I just want to show it off. It's my show and tell for the week.
Ah,
sorry.
Nice.
I have already read over 200 pages.
I know.
So like within 2 days, I'd read over 200 pages.
It's hard not to blow through something like that, especially when you love it.
Yeah, I'm at the 0 issue right now, and it's making me want to go read 0 Hour so I can get the whole fucking story. Because it kind of just jumps into the middle of like it. The last issue ends after Alex was killed by Major Force, and Kyle meets Alan, and Alan's saying we might need your help to fight Hal, and then issue 0 comes around, and here's Kyle fighting Hal. Like, okay, when the fuck did this happen?
You gotta
and then it just says, yeah, go read 0 Hour number 0 to figure out what the fuck happened. Like, okay, go fuck yourself. Like, and I think, okay, I'll jump to the next issue and like go back and read it. But apparently, number 56 spins off of the 0 issue where he's just lost in space. Like, okay, well, that's annoying. I gotta go read 0 Hour now.
Happens to the best of us, man.
Yeah. See, like a couple months ago when Brandon and I went on that rant about this is what back issues do when they connect to other stories. You're like, well, fuck, now I need to read this, and that's going to lead to something else. And then just, all of a sudden I have like 15 novels I got to read, and I have no time.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Do you have 0 hour?
No.
Oh.
Dad might have it somewhere in the basement. I just have to find it. Like, I have up to issue 56 of Kyle's run already, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And then sporadic issues here and there that I picked up myself. His dad was collecting. He collected up to issue 56 when Kyle took over.
So you have 54 then?
Yeah. But I never read it until this.
Oh.
And holy fuck, is that heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy issue, man.
Jesus.
It is a heavy issue. For
Yeah.
sure. I saw a joke on where was it? I want to say Reddit. That said, Hal Jordan's greatest weakness is the color yellow. Alan Scott's greatest weakness is wood. What is Kyle Rayner's greatest weakness? Fridges.
Refrigerators.
It's like, oh damn, that's rough.
That's so true.
Sad though,
Yeah.
but true.
So,
nonetheless,
how much do you remember about that issue though?
I haven't read it in a few years.
Okay.
I mean, I remember it was
Pretty graphic.
It was graphic and
sad.
Just emotionally heavy.
Yeah.
Like reading Mr. Miracle by Tom King. Like that.
Oh god, yeah. So I'm just curious about the
slit my wrist.
Technically the B plot of this portion of LA just like 50 years into the future, and 50 years from now, I guess back then it was like 80 years into the future, just showed up, and that's why Kyle was nowhere near Alex at the time. But then it just disappeared, and there was never any explanation. And now I'm like 2 issues later, and there's still no fucking explanation. And I'm curious if that ever gets explained as to why that happened. If you remember.
I want to say that at the end of the day, you are going to be unsatisfied.
Well, shit. That's annoying. So he just forgets that like 3 neighborhoods worth of LA was all of a sudden in the year 2084.
I want to say it got dropped
for 10 minutes.
I want to say it got dropped. I could be wrong. Somebody out there's probably yelling at me. Brandon might be listening right now going, no, but
yeah,
I think
I expect a message from Brandon eventually. Well, speaking of Brandon, I forgot I have his notes I have to open. Shit. All right. So.
Well, that is no problem. I do suppose that after an hour we should start gabbing about some comic books.
Yeah, no more wrestling.
let me kick us off to, mentioning the honorable mentions that we will be handling in the bonus show. We have the Penguin number 4, Batman the Brave and the Bold number 7, Power Girl number 3, City Boy number 6, Batman Beyond Neo Gothic number 5, Cyborg number 5, Steelworks number 6, and Batman 89 Echoes number 1. And that's in addition to the regular ones that we're going to be covering: Green Arrow number 6, Amazon's Attack number 2, Alan Scott the Green Lantern number 2, and Titans Beast World number 1.
Yeah, we actually did forget something.
Oh, and Static Shock.
That too, but like no, I'm looking. So Brandon unfortunately has to work tonight. He could not get out of his shift, but he did send me his notes on the books. Basically sent me like everything, so including like book recommendations from indies. And one thing we forgot to mention in every DC issue this week was a Keith Giffen tribute.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we had mentioned his passing before. But yeah, there is a Keith Giffen tribute in the back of every book, which was very nice to see. You gotta love that little artwork there, Blue Beetle, Lobo, etc.
Yeah.
All of those that he created or helped create, or just did damn well.
Yeah. So he told me to read his notes verbatim, word for word, and well, I'm excited.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is looking fun. He does have. I'll wait for him to come back and go into more detail about these books, but his two book recs. Superhero spoil. Spoil out. He gets a mentally check out for a couple seconds while Rob reads this bit for me. Okay. So the Ministry of Compliance, #1 from John Ridley and Stefano Raffaele over at IDW. Apparently is really excellent sci-fi political commentary. And we have Somna #1 from Becky Cloonan and Tula Lote. Yeah, as Brandon says, if the artistic talents of that creative team does not sell you, you have failed at life.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, right. I think we'll wait for next week for him to go into more detail about these two books. Okay. Well, Ministry of Compliance, Ridley won full Morrison with the protagonist who's also the team behind GCP did Blue Walls, so that fact will either completely sell you or not at all. Would recommend. But then he says, ask Josh if he has read or remembers this book.
I'm sorry, the Blue Wall or
the Ministry of Compliance?
I have not yet. I do want to. I want to. I don't remember it right now, but the fact that he said it, the same team that was behind Blue Wall is behind this, I'm all over it.
Yeah,
I thought Blue Wall was fantastic.
Oh God, it wasn't ever. Yeah.
And it's funny that Brandon likes that with that creative team, because if I remember correctly, he wasn't completely sold on Blue Wall throughout the entire series.
No.
I think me and you were the fans on that one.
Could be. I don't quite remember.
Well, I mean, I'm not one to say, hey, trust my memory, but shall we get to it, kind sir?
Yes, we shall. Let's speed on over to our main reviews.
I'll try to get it done in a flash. Oh, The Flash, #3, written by Cy Spurrier, art inside and on the cover from Mike Deodato Jr., with colors by Trish Mulvihill and letters by Hassan Asmani El-Haw. So, the issue starts out with Mr. Terrific and Wally West talking about what's going on in the current arc, trying to figure out how to help the abductees. They can't do anything right now. They got to wait until the orbit lines up again. While Holt tries to figure that out and separate his scientists that are arguing their pants off with each other, Max Mercury shows up. Wally asked Max for help with his stepping out of reality deal because he felt like he had been asking too much of Mr. Terrific. Max can help by matching the resonance of Wally's aura. This lets Max see reality the way that Wally now does, and it works, but a little bit too well, because he's not just seeing it, they bounce out of reality together. But it turns out that it's not an alternate reality, it's theirs, but in what Max says is just they're seeing it from a different angle, which is disturbing, because there are meat balloons. And I don't know about you, yeah, but I would get nervous around the word meat balloon. Or anything that word is used to describe. So it turns out Bart is the reason for the weirdness. His journey to the here and now is what they just saw, and Max admits that none of them really know what it is that their powers do in the grand scheme of things, which makes Wally remember when the stillness said that they doubt he realizes the damage that he causes. They go back out of reality again, and this time they end up in the spirit world, asshole. That was for any Young Guns fans. Where we meet our baddie. But not before the bad crap happens. The place that they are in houses loads of speedsters all the way back to UGG. from all points in time, and it takes time away from them, which also takes away their speed. That means the speed force is also slowly slipping away from Wally. It's almost completely gone from Max. Max gives the little bit left that he has to Wally and says to tell Bart that he is proud of him, which was a little sad and makes me worry. Now we see the baddie, but it's the Folded Man. Disgusted as just another punk in a super suit, Wally dips out, or tries to, but gets stuck in a place with a bunch of statues and stillness. Until Bart finally gives in to his temptations and pokes the rift with what he says was a really, really good stick.
Yeah.
And
I get it.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It pops Wally back, and the first thing that Bart says is, "Where's Max?"
Yeah.
So we're in issue 3. It's an interesting story. It's been a slow build, but it has been garnering my interest more in every issue. Where is Max, and how does a Flash fight something when he has no powers or control, and going there almost immediately means you're not going to be able to return? I'm not a fan of losing Max, but I hope that it's temporary. Hopefully with Bart being present, that's a guarantee that he'll come back, but they could also be setting us up for an emotional karate chop to the heart. It better not be that, though. The story, while interesting, is a tiny bit convoluted right now, but it's starting to even out. There's a lot of loose strings, leaving thinking like, okay, where's the knot that ties all of this together? It's definitely not apparent yet, but I do feel like we are going to get to the meat of that story on issue 5. Rob's gonna love this part. I feel like the art has taken a step down in quality here. I've been defending.
That's actually funny for what I have to say later.
Okay. I've been defending Deodato, apparently like all by myself across the universe on this book, but I can't this time. Max's face is messed up in like every panel, and there are abs drawn on both of them for the sole purpose of drawing abs on them, even if it's in the wrong spot. If you go through and you look at the book, you will see that there is one particular page where Wally is twisted. His hips are kind of pointing one way, his shoulders are rolled in the opposite direction, which would leave like his side pointing up toward the viewer, and that's where the abs are. So no.
Yeah. Now you're seeing what Brandon and I have been talking about.
That was something else, man. Given that I'm feeling like I need to read the next issue to see how I feel about this one, that doesn't bode well for the score. It is a good story though, and I'm saying that because I feel like if it was a little less all over the place, just a little bit, it would feel way more cohesive. But because of that, I'm still giving this a 7 right now. No, a 6.5. No, no. I'm gonna give it a 7, and you know why? Because at the start of this book, like the old school stuff back with Flash Facts, it's all accurate in science, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's something that I want in a Flash book. I mean, who wouldn't prefer learning science from a Flash book instead of a school book? So yeah, it's a 7. I'm going to give it a 7.
That's fair. I will give it a 6.5. I'll preface this right now. So funny enough, besides how Wally and Max were drawn, I didn't absolutely hate how Wally was drawn this issue, so that was a bit of a plus. Max, not the greatest. Again, muscles for the sake of muscles. But the rest of it was, I felt, drawn pretty well with like the other dimensions and that rift in space time, and even Bart I thought was drawn fairly well. So the art didn't 100% hate this issue, but I'd still have that disdain for Deodato's like hard on for muscles. So you're muted. Josh. You're muted.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
What is going on down here? Why is there a spider on this page for no fucking reason? And Wally's Wally's abs are like all the way over to the side and then all the way over to his other side. His body is twisted. They should not be going up and down. And then
Yeah.
right over here, Max Mercury has abs in his armpits.
Yep. No, Max, not great. But so
his
with
face,
Wally,
his faces are bad.
With Wally for this run, since issue 1, all I've been paying attention to is the face. So all the stuff you're saying about Wally's body, his torso, his abs, didn't even fucking notice.
You've been stuck on that fucking smile.
I have been. Okay, and it wasn't in this issue. That's why I was like, okay, Wally's pretty good this issue. And then you point out all this other shit. I'm like, shit, I gotta go back and actually look, because there was no creepy ass monster smile from Wally this issue. So I just gave it a chalk up. But
the faces, his mouth for Wally is definitely does leave something to be desired, and he does a complete disservice to Max Mercury.
Oh god, yeah.
Like even when he drew him in the statue, it did not look good.
Yeah.
And again, throwing these fucking I'm gonna show it again. Do you see these panels here?
No.
All
So
the
Josh,
way around.
Josh,
Yo,
your third screen is gone. I forgot you had a third screen, or your second screen, the third screen. So when you were showing before the show, when you were showing me the images, it's not there.
It's not there.
No, sorry, I forgot.
Well, oh no.
Yeah. It was there until we started the show, and then I just kind of forgot about it because I wasn't used to it. Sorry, I should have mentioned.
Huh, well, damn. Okay. Well, there's all these panels that are lined up on a splash page like it's supposed to do something. They're not there. It's not separating anything. There's no purpose there other than the artist went, oh, I think that's kind of cool. It's not cool. You're doing it for no reason.
Are you talking about the page? And I had a feeling you were going to bring it up. The page with Mr. Terrific and Wally.
That as well.
Outside the scientists are in their own panel.
That one as well, but more specifically, the Gallery of Moments, where the statues of all the speedsters are.
Oh, okay. I don't think I even noticed the panels.
It's bad. It's real bad. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Mackey. So as for the story, though, it's also funny. You were like, Wally's a bit disappointed that it's the Folding Man, another supervillain in a suit, because I was also disappointed to find that out.
Right.
When it was like a extra dimensional, like here's some eldritch horror shit that Wally's gonna deal with. He doesn't know how to. Other dimensions, monsters from another place and space, shit with powers that he has no clue how to handle. Yeah, I was all for it. Like, that was creepy, that was good, and Mike Deodato's scary faces just made it all the scarier. But leaving it to just another costumed villain, fuck off. That kind of takes away some of the fear factor for me. That gives a face Wally can punch and try to save the day from. So it's not there anymore. Like, you just killed the story, I think. So I'm not in love with it. That's why this got a 6.5 out of 10.
Fair enough. You still don't see the picture?
No.
You sharing the page?
No.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
No. Right. Do you want to know what Brandon said?
What?
It's kind of funny.
Uh-oh.
And I quote from Brandon's own words: "Rip Max Mercury? If so, then fuck this book. But if not, which seems most likely, then this book is good." I actually had a really fun time with this issue, and to his credit, the smaller panels from Mike Deodato Jr. made the artwork less horrifying than in the previous 2 issues. Well, made the humans less horrifying anyway. I think where Spurrier succeeds with the Flash is less in the charm of the characters, though they can be charming at times, but more in the wild conceptual ideas he comes up with. You get the sense that there's something sinister about the Speed Force, almost evil, and that perhaps the speedsters have been participating in a flawed system all this time. I'm not sure I'd agree with that, but it is interesting. Add to the fact that there are some wild images in this book, and this is probably where Deodato shines best. Every time it's like weird aliens or creatures or something, like the Uncoiled, for example, they look really good. But I would say with issue number 3, the series is growing on me bit by bit. Interesting ideas and concepts feels right at home with the Flash, even if I don't necessarily agree with the interpretation. I'm not so rigid that I can't enjoy someone approaching an established concept with a new perspective. Overall, this issue is, as my generation likes to say, bussin'. Also, Bart is adorable in this issue. 8.25 out of 10. I'm definitely there for Bart. Like, Bart was the best part of this issue. And I definitely get where Brandon's coming from, and I did kind of say the same, along the same lines, like, the new concepts and interesting ideas, I'm all for it. And when it was something fresh, when it was something new, when it was something that Wally has to deal with, like the extra dimensional forces, like, yeah, all for it. But then you ruin it by, okay, no, it's just another rogue. So I don't know.
Well, see, now Wally was really quick to be dismissive about the folded man. So, I mean, is it just another dickhead in a super suit? Sure. But this is Cy Spurrier. Cy Spurrier isn't exactly known for weak plot points. So I'm going to trust him. I'm going to see where this goes, because that villain wouldn't have shown up and Wally wouldn't have had that kind of a reaction to him if it doesn't turn out that the folded man is way more than what he has been before.
Yeah. I hope so, but I was also really looking forward to it not be an old villain. Period. Like,
Yeah.
have it be something brand new and fresh, something that Wally can't put a face to, something that Wally has to deal with that, like, really puts in danger not just his own life but his whole family's lives. And you were fucking gone. Oh wow, you're back.
I'm still here.
Yeah. And just something that he has to try and overcome instead of fight, because you can't fight it. It's too powerful. It doesn't even have a corporeal body, let alone something you can face. So try to figure out a way around it, like bring that to a new level and bring Wally to a new level within it. I think a story like that would have been fantastic. But a story with that, and then you have an old villain at the center of it, kind of brings it down a little bit. So we'll see.
Still here.
Future issues. Yeah, sure, Jimmy. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes in the future. All right. Shall we move on to our next one? Speaking of extra dimensional entities, it's Harley Quinn number 34. Hey. This is written by Teenie Howard with art from Sweeney Boo, letters from Steve Wands, and as always, the cover from Sweeney Boo. The cover this month I really fucking like.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Caution, wet boom tube. Yeah. That is great. All right, so we pick up when I understand we did not cover last issue. I only read it a few days ago. But we were picking up where that issue left off. Harley has found out that Bud and Lou, at least the Earth 48 counterparts for Bud and Lou, may or may not be the ones that are trying to harm Harley. So she pulls them back to Earth Zero at home, along with Lux Kirby, multiversal PI, and tries to question them and figure out what's going on, and ends up sending them back to their own world, Earth 48, leaving her with just her own babies, Bud and Lou, as they are as normal hyenas. Earth 48, Bud and Lou are now stuck dealing with what to do next. And the third screen is back. I see you're okay. You're trying to fix it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We see Harley Quinn now.
And now she's gone.
Yes.
Beautiful.
All right.
It's working. Yay!
Yay! We can show the book. All right. Good job, Josh.
Good job, Josh.
Good job, Josh. You get a Scooby snack. Give me your best Scooby impression.
Roro Raggy.
It's not bad. I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
It's more like a 6.75, but you're too nice.
I am Canadian.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. You're too nice and you can't drive.
I can, just not legally. That's what I keep telling people, but nobody believes me.
Last time a Canadian came to visit the United States, they blew up Niagara Falls.
Actually, they were American. Going home.
Well, they had spent too much time in Canada.
They did. They were like, this country's too nice. We need to, like, close the border ourselves.
I don't know. I have driven in the GTA, and it is not a fun time.
Oh, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. Born and raised in the GTA, folks, Greater Toronto Area. It's a shit show. People say my hometown has the worst drivers in Canada, let alone North America, let alone Canada. But like the two neighboring towns of Malton and Woodbridge, yeah, shout out to you small ass people. Yeah, I've nearly been hit more times in those two small areas than I have in 30 odd years living in Brampton. So fuck that Brampton's got the worst drivers. They don't hit people, they just hit trees and fences and poles. They don't hit people. The buses hit the people, not the drivers, okay? Not the cars.
You ever watch Shining Vale?
No.
You should watch it. It's a horror show with Courtney Cox in it, but it's so fucking good. And that just reminded me of it because you watched somebody get by a bus.
I didn't watch it, but like people have been hit by buses more than they've been hit by cars.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the cars tend to hit like big things, not people.
Well, of course, because those are much harder to see.
Exactly.
I will tell you, as somebody who has driven all the way from the very southern tip all the way up to the very northern tip of Western Ontario, there are no worse Canadian drivers than those that live in Sarnia.
I cannot attest to that, but I can tell you, Toronto's a fucking shit show, bud.
I've been there. I'm telling you. Sarnia, you have to keep your head on a swivel.
There's a subreddit devoted to just GTA drivers.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, boy.
I'll send you some shit. Like
You'll have to.
It's pretty bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's kind of dumb because even if it doesn't matter if it's in Mississauga or Toronto, if there's a dumb driver, they get referred to as a Brampton driver. Which is my hometown.
Nice.
It's not. Doesn't matter if it's true. It's not nice.
I mean, if it's true, that's a totally different story.
It probably is true, but still not nice. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, Bud and Lou, they're back on Earth 48 with Lady Quark, and she's basic Quark. She is saying to them that their mission's done for now. They've done what they can, but they can't do anything else because now if they go back and keep watching her again, Harley will be too suspicious. So instead, she activates an artificial intelligence Harley Quinn, which is compiled data with a very fucked up face and can't speak anything but some kind of technological language.
Harley Quinn artificial intelligence is not the kind of artificial intelligence this universe needs.
It might be the only artificial intelligence this universe needs.
Or that. It's
yeah, I was reading, and this is kind of fucked up. AI art. So when you ask an AI program to give you a picture, it does a composite search it makes compiled data into the picture, and that's why you get such weird images sometimes. And that the more it does it, the better it gets, obviously. But now it's starting to pull, like, certain AI programs are pulling examples from other AI art.
Mm-hmm.
So it's AI art giving AI art ideas, and it's just inbreeding between AIs, and it's really fucking weird.
Stable Diffusion XL, folks. If you don't know what that is, if you're not into image creation, you want Stable Diffusion, okay?
Okay.
Everybody wants Stable Diffusion.
Got it. Stable decision.
Diffusion. Fusion. Diffusion.
Dinner.
Kaboom.
Displosion.
Is it delivery or is it DiGiorno?
It's Delicio, damn it. I'm from the 90s. Fuck DiGiorno. It's Delicio. Actually, not even Delicio anymore. Even that's gone. Yeah. Speaking of the 90s, last tangent, sorry. Apparently, newer generations are now referring to the 80s and 90s as the late 1900s. They're not wrong. But
hold on a second. I need to look up the number to the crisis line.
So
that's bullshit, man. I was almost 20.
Like, okay, so we knew the day was coming. Okay, it was always gonna happen. Like, it just, like, mathematically, timeline, linearly, it just makes sense. We've been referring to the 10s, 20s, the Roaring 20s and whatnot, early 1900s for decades now. It's just a matter of time before our time became referred to as the late 1900s.
I feel like before you can do that, you got to be at least 75 years away from it. That's just me because I'm sensitive about how old I am.
Doesn't matter. Like, it's happening. And it's people in their early 20s are doing this that I can say. At least people in college, university, because that's the oldest I've seen reference to the term early 1900s.
You guys are jerks.
Yep. If only Brandon was here, because he's right in that scope.
You've hurt my feelings.
It's like, damn it, the 90s was fucking yesterday. I don't give a shit.
I mean, ain't nobody bringing back the fashion from the swinger days, but we get the 90s popping up. You can't when the 90s have never left, you can't refer to them as days of yore. There's my argument.
The 90s have left.
No,
but
they left for like 10 years and then they came right back.
Yeah. But I think that's enough to call them,
can't escape.
At least for me, because I was born in 1990. They're the days of yore.
I'm not impressed.
When I say I'm a 90s baby, I'm quite literally, that was my first decade. From the beginning to the, like, all 10 years.
Oh, you're okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I got
so you. I'm like, to T, a definition of a 90s baby. Okay.
So this is probably going to differ.
90s kid.
My opinion is probably going to differ from everybody else's on the planet. But, all right, so I was born in which means that I was
79. We heard you.
I was 10 when the 80s were over with. Okay. Yeah. So the time, the era, the influence that I started receiving didn't really start happening till I was like 5 or 6, right?
Right.
And I started getting exposed to the culture of the time. So I was born in 79. I lived all the way up until 10 in the 80s, but I wasn't really an 80s kid just because I was there. I feel like I grew up in the 90s.
That's fair.
So technically, you wouldn't be a 90s kid. You would be a 2000s kid.
Nah, because when the year 2000... when the year 2000
The
happened.
year 2000.
I was 10. So I wasn't a kid for most of the 2000s. I was a teenager.
Where you do your growing up.
Yeah,
I
but
just said that
when I
exact
still say
same thing
when I
about
still say
the
90s
90s because I
kid,
was 10 in 1990.
90s kid, I was a kid in the 90s. All of the 90s.
I turned 21 in 2000, I think. I did.
Yeah, you would have.
Am I a sign of the apocalypse?
Why?
Never mind. There's a long story there. Anyway.
I need to hear it after I finish talking about Harley Quinn. Yeah. We'll have more existential crises later. Right, so flashback over to Harley taking Bud and Lou for a walk because she does not want to go home after telling Ivy that she'd be better off without her after having a bit of a depression and funk last issue. So they head off to the Fox Tech Clever Bar, hint hint,
right,
to kind of cheer Harley up and take Bud and Lou on for an extended walk and do some shopping in the meantime. And while they're there, the Fox Pads get attacked by, or not really attacked, get assimilated. I don't know. Out pops artificial intelligence Harley, who confronts real Harley, and they have a little bit of a skirmish, but that's when AI Harley jumps into real Harley and tries to take over her mind, or at least read about her, gather as much information as possible, and get a personality profile, but realizes that it's too much. There's too many unresolvable errors found, and Harley pukes up AI Harley. So because Harley's just too much, there's too much going on up there. AI Harley cannot actually deal with it. The cops show up after shit goes a little haywire. Harley hides Bud and Lou in a dumpster temporarily and tells them to head home when the coast is clear. And Harley runs off to Lux Kirby, explaining everything that just happened. It says maybe we need to investigate this. And that's when Lux Kirby says, I've made a discovery. Another Harley was killed on the vampire world of Earth 43, but the Ivy there is still alive. But Ivy in that world is literally a fucking swamp. The Dismal Banshee Swamp, to be exact. So they talk to this Ivy to get the skinny on what happened to her version of Harley, who was a vampire hunter. And while they didn't get as much information on the killer as they'd hoped, Harley did get a bit of peace of mind from this Ivy that, maybe Ivy just wants Harley and needs Harley, and it's not up to Harley whether Ivy gets Harley or not. So they head out back into multiversal pathways. Yeah. End up provoking some existential horror with multiple fucking eyes. And then Harley lands back in her apartment, where she does talk to Ivy. They crawl into bed together and everything's fine, except the screens, computers and TVs in their apartments are now being taken over by AI Harley. Yeah. The backup.
Fun time. Whole new definition of augmented reality.
Yeah. And as it says in the text box for next issue, please let this be a normal field trip. With the Quinn? Right? No way. Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw I posted about that on Discord. I was like, yes.
I saw that, but I had not read the Harley issue yet.
Yeah. Hop on the magic Harley Quinn. Yeah. And the backup is
I'm too old for Magic School Bus, but my kids definitely weren't, so I got that.
Even if you are too old for Magic School Bus, you still know it and you still get it. I don't care who you are, Magic School Bus is eternal. For 90s kids, anyway.
It's a little questionable about her giving those kids all those drugs, but led for a fun time.
It was just Arnold because he needed a sedative to get put on the bus. Yeah,
Right.
because
So they
he
weren't
was
taking
always like,
psychedelics all the time.
no,
Sure.
no. I think it was
Magic school bus.
I think it was if they were taking psychedelics, I think it was Phoebe was her name that would have said, at my old school we didn't take psychedelics, we just got the ruler on the wrist or some shit like that. Yeah.
She drops it in the Kool-Aid.
That would explain why she went back to her old school in the new series. She drank the fucking Kool-Aid.
She drank the fucking Kool-Aid.
Yeah. All right. The backup is called Harley's Big Exit. Written by Grace Ellis with art from Steve Lieber, colors from Tamara Bonvillain, and letters from Hassan Otsmane El Hau. I did not get a chance to finish it, but it is basically a romp of Harley across literally a comic book, from ads to scripts to laid outs and breakdowns, and it's just her being fucking break the fourth wall Harley. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's basically it's just her breaking the fourth wall, being pissed off she's stuck in a comic book.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's fun.
So this story, I'm really fucking digging it. My only thing is, and I think they were kind of hinting at it, but now I don't remember where they were hinting at it. It was just a vibe I was getting. That it's a version of Harley is going around killing Harleys.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
We did just have that with the Harley Who Laughs.
Yeah.
That's
the thing. Like that was literally the last story arc before this one started.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that it's just leaning toward that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than rehashing what we just had, like what we're doing in Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, like the stuff with Wonder Woman isn't like to a T the exact same story. It's just annoying like the same. But this is like this. If that's a major plot point, it's the exact same fucking plot point.
Yeah, that's weak, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The story up till now was fucking fantastic, being fresh and new. I'm still enjoying it, and I still think the story we got in this issue was really good because it did add some new stuff. Lux Kirby, Multiversal PI is fantastic. More stuff with Bud and Lou, relationship drama with Harley and Ivy, like that was really cool. Just seeing multiversal Harleys get murdered again, it's like we just fucking had it. So I really hope that's not the case.
I'm hoping that there's more to it than just that.
There's definitely some more stuff going on Earth 48 we don't know about. So, and the art, as we like to say around here, is Sweeney Boo-tastic.
Sweeney Boo-tastic. It really is.
Yep, it really fucking is. You cannot go wrong with this art.
They can do no wrong.
Nope. Like, it fits Harley so much.
I mean, since the first time we saw them show up in that Punchline book, which is as early as I can remember seeing Sweeney Boo.
That's the earliest I remember.
I have not seen a panel that I did not like.
Yep.
And I mean, if you've listened to this show at all, I am really good at finding shit I don't like. And Sweeney Boo is definitely skirted the wrath of me.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to dislike, really.
Yep, easily one of my favorite artists that are working at DC in the last few years.
Yeah. Agreed. As for the score, I'll give it an 8.75 out of 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It would be a 9 if there wasn't the hint that we're getting a rehash of the last arc.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, man, but I feel like this series has flown by with every issue. Like, I get done reading 26 pages or whatever, and I'm like, what? I felt like 10. Somebody's tricking me.
Yep.
Like Rob said, the art is beautiful. It flows so well from panel to panel. The personality of Harley, her voice, I can definitely support. I love it. The fact that this isn't hard to keep track of, coupled with it being crazy and pretty cool, has me really enjoying it like a whole bunch. The only downside to this that I see at all, and it's definitely one of those arcs where you can't just pop in. You're gonna have to go all the way back to the beginning in order to understand what the fuck is going on. But if you do that, you will not be disappointed. If you're a big Harley fan, this is gonna be right up your alley the whole time. You know, and I know a number of people that stopped reading Harley books after Sam Humphries fucked everything, and this is the time to get back on it.
Yeah. And we say start like from the beginning. You mean issue 1 or just 28 when Teeny Howard took over?
When Teeny Howard took over, not issue 1. Yeah, just the last 6 issues, the beginning of this arc where, you know, the story comes into development.
Yeah,
and we get the Vorpal fish.
Yes, and Harley as a college professor, which I think is such a cool fucking change for Harley.
Me too.
Like I hope that's something that sticks around.
As do I.
Yeah.
Like I said in the backup, I pretty much already summed it up. It's Harley breaking the wall, hating she's in a comic book. It's weird, but it looks cool. There was supposed to be humor in it. The jokes didn't quite land, but the concept I really enjoyed. I gave the whole book an 8.25 out of 10.
Right on. And Brandon did not read it, so we don't have anything to say. He also didn't read our next book. I guess he didn't get a chance, which is very surprising.
Indeed. And
yeah,
that book,
it's a bit of a mystery that he didn't get to read it.
Thinking that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, our next book might be able to solve that mystery. It is Detective Comics number 1078, brought to you by me. Actually brought to us by Rom V. Art by Jason Sean Alexander, colors by Dave Stewart, lettering from Tom Napolitano, and a cover by Evan Cagle.
Is it Jason? Jason Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy you said Sean because you're like Jason Alexander. I'm like fucking
Jerry
Seinfeld. He was in the pool.
He was in the pool. Well, it's time to hang the Batman.
Yes. I'll be right back.
That's what he said. All right, so it is time to hang the Batman. He's still resisting the asthma. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So he's still resisting the asthma, just enough to keep somewhat lucid. He says to the crowd that, and I'm paraphrasing here, everyone looks to the sun, but actually, let me look it up because it was a fairly good Batman quote here, real quick. So let me flip to that page real fast. All right, so they talk about Batman being a bad guy, right? We remind people their power lies with their institutions, and now we ask the accused, the man who has been a symbol of Gotham's darkness, to speak his confession. Batman's reply to this is, to the whole crowd, they are right. All who stand in darkness do so in hope of looking to the sun. How can you not? Look how beautiful the daylight is. My mother's song in the air, my father's hand on my head. Though every sunlit boy cannot help but cast a shadow, I'm your shadow, Gotham. I will always walk with you. Now that is probably the most poetic yet 100% accurate Batman line of dialogue that I have read in years. And I had to have Much appreciation for it.
Agreed.
Um,
What are you talking about?
Batman's opening statement when they gave him the opportunity to speak.
Oh, yes.
Before they go to hang him. He's their shadow and he will always walk with them, the citizens of Gotham. So the crowd asks for mercy for the Batman, but it falls on deaf ears. Watching from a TV somewhere else is the Joker laughing. Stay tuned because he doesn't come back. Now, back to an hour before the hanging, and that time moves forward pretty quickly. Cheshire Cat, Oracle, Cassandra, Mr. Freeze, and old Jimmy G are working together to save Batsy. After setting up a scenario where the Orgums know that they are trying to rescue him, we move quickly to minutes before the hanging. The rescue plan kicks into full swing as Azrael, all bat-assed up, starts taking out Orgum guards, that were sent to go after the distraction that Team Rescue made, resulting in lessened security everywhere else. Cat swoops in to hold a blade to Orgum's neck, but his mommy pops in and says he won't care if you kill him. She also says, don't play a game you aren't willing to lose. She steps out into the balcony, gives the word to hang the Batman, and the last panel we see is of Batman's feet dangling in the air. Well, damn.
Yeah.
Here we are. I have to say that after all of this, the last panel showing us Batman actually being hanged is not what I was expecting. I mean, obviously we know he'll be okay because we're all sure this happens in the past. Unless, of course, we're wrong and this is actually happening in the future and what the current storylines are leading toward, which is how we get rid of Batman. So, because the Orgums haven't been featured or talked about in any other story. Just here. So it's a possibility this could be in the future. Probably isn't, but keep that in your pipe, just in case you want to smoke it later. Alexander's art matches the style of the writing perfectly, as is the usual. Even steps it up here. The colors from Mulvihill, or excuse me, sorry, Dave. The colors from Dave Stewart are some of the best I've ever seen him do in this book, specifically in this issue. Yeah, so the colors are gorgeous, and the story had me gripped from the get-go. Detective Comics has been awesome for quite a while, thanks to Ron V. The backstory, the mystery, the unusual cast of characters, it all works to create this foundationally solid story that I just can't get enough of. I'm giving this book an 8.25 out of 10. It definitely deserves it. And Agreed. Then we get the backup. The backup. Written by Dan Waters, art from Casper Wingard, lettering from Steve Wands. Bet and Eco start out on a date, and it rehashes that they are both criminals. Eco feels crappy about it, but thinks to herself that at least she gets to pretend that she is a good guy once in a while by wearing Catwoman's suit. It ends with Eco going after all the criminal stuff Bet told her she was going to do. She takes all of it out, and then it wraps up with Eco breaking up with Bet over the phone, saying, "You're just beneath me." Loved it. That definitely contributed to the 8.25 out of 10 score. It was completely unnecessary, but it looked pretty good, and especially for Casper Wingard. It looked really good for Casper Wingard. And while unimportant, it was a cool little nod to Eco being more than just mobster / Selena lackey. This is her all out on her own. So I dug that. Worth every point of the 8.25 out of 10.
Agreed. Just fantastic story still, and just getting the perspective of the kind of the extended Bat family to a certain extent. it is really interesting that the timeline is very confusing, and this is where I could go on and on and on about this shit. That's excuse me, where I'm not enjoying the story is that it's going on for so long that it's not meshing well with anything else, and you don't know when it's taking place, like how it's taking place, and as much as it's a good story, it's really its own thing, and it kind of just gives a fuck you to everything else around it. So it's really hard to keep in touch with that. Um, you could argue that since Catwoman is basically pulling up the B squad to help save Batman, with the exception of Cassandra, because she is forever A squad. The rest of the Bat fam would be after Gotham War, so this is where it's like they're just not talking to him right now again. And then Selina at the end, you're muted again, dude. Selina was mostly okay with Batman by the end of that. Like they were all right, but like it's just very confusing as to where when the fuck this takes place in conjunction with everything else. So who bloody knows? But I can't be too mad about it because it's a damn good story.
Right.
And that moment of Asbats breaking out of that truck, it'd be like, all right, bring it on, bitches. Fuck.
And clear
So
and
good.
present danger. I mean, that was Asbat drawn perfectly.
Oh God, was it ever?
Perfectly.
So good.
I strongly applaud Jason Sean Alexander for that.
Yeah. I 100% agree. It was just fantastic. The backup. Oh, it was Eco. It was interesting. It was a nice little side story of Eco as Catwoman, and I'm all for it. I thought that was really cool. Nothing major that you need to read, but it was just a nice little story on the side, which
showing
I think is all the
that
backups
Eco
need to be.
isn't just Catwoman when Selina calls.
No, and she's not just a regular old Yakuza boss.
Right. Just a regular old run of the mill Yakuza boss.
Yeah, a typical Yakuza boss. Yakuza all day and nothing else. No, she's got a conscience. You can appreciate that.
Yeah. She's a good person that inherited a crime family.
Yeah.
So you work with what you got, right? You work with what you got.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
sorry.
while it was
something else.
That's all right. There's a bunch of great story. There's still mystery. There's still questions going on in Detective Comics. But I will give you that there wasn't much action.
No, but I mean, to a certain extent, like you had Cheshire and Shoes fighting people. You had Cassandra and Mr. Freeze fighting people. You had Catwoman fighting people. You had Asbats fighting people.
You had an excellent segue into the next issue, but hey,
I mean, yeah, that's kind of. I don't quite know where you're going with that.
I said there wasn't a lot of action.
Okay. Well, because I hadn't given my score yet.
Oh. Well, shit. I thought you already had. My bad.
So
shut up,
going,
Josh.
dude.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. God.
I was like, what do you mean there's not a lot of action? Like half the issue is fucking action. It's just Batman's kind of stuck, but we know he's not
a little
really hanged.
Well, I mean, he's definitely being hung.
Yeah,
his feet are just kind of hanging there.
I'll say he's not hanging. He's hanging out. He's just hanging around. He's not.
I suppose that's one way to put it.
Yeah. He's hanging out, but he's hanging in there. Yeah. What the fuck am I gonna give it? Because I'll say 7.75.
I mean, do you see his feet?
Yes.
He's definitely hanging.
I don't see his hands. It could be here.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Maybe he's okay.
I mean, I think we can safely assume he's okay.
He, whoops.
uh,
He's got to die sometime.
yeah, but it's not gonna be in this. Like, there's a lot more story to go.
Yeah, there is,
And
and
I
he
think
doesn't
he was,
have to die. He does have to retire. I'm not getting off that hill, guys.
no,
Sorry.
I agree because eventually he needs to go retreat to the cave until Terry finds him.
He's got a lot of work before he gets all gray and cane hobbled.
Well, he retired before he was cane hobbled.
Well, right, but he doesn't find Terry until he's all white and walking around with a cane and
I know,
shoulder implants.
but it's still he's got to start somewhere.
Start at the beginning.
It's not going to start to get there until he retires.
Mm-mm. And he
I want-
definitely needs to, so he can allow the people that he has trained to be a better version of him do their job.
Yes.
Just saying, guys.
When are we going to allow a young Terry in main continuity?
Well, see, young Terry, or Terry at all, doesn't fit into main continuity because Terry's main continuity is in the future where Bruce is old as dirt.
Yeah.
So
I mean, as I was saying, it was like timeline doesn't make sense. It is
You're- but
perpetually
there's
30
so many
years into
people
the
asking
future.
for it.
Because we love Terry McGinnis. Wait, yeah, so Batman Beyond is perpetually 30 years into the future, no matter what year we are. And if you consider that we're pretty much at the time when Batman Beyond first came on TV back in like 1999, we're
When?
pretty close. 99.
Oh my God, it was that long ago.
Just that long ago. We're pretty close to the year that it took place. So
The year 2000. I need that as a sound clip. All right.
it's perpetually 30 years into the future. 50
Pretty
depending
much.
on the book you're reading.
Pretty much.
And Terry was like 17 when he became Batman. So there's no way he's going to be in modern continuity.
No, he can't. But I will tell you, let's pull up credits you weren't ready for, Murray. Lansing,
Yeah.
writing, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing writing Batman Beyond is, I didn't know I needed that.
Right? It's such a good story.
It really is. But we'll get into more on that on the
Bonus.
Spotlight show, on the bonus show.
Yeah. But before we get to the bonus show, Action Comics, number 1059, Men of Steel. This is brought to us was New Worlds Part 3. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art from Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira, colors from Matt Herms, and letters from Dave Sharp, with a great cover from Steve Beach. So we open up in Metropolis. Some punks have robbed a armored truck and kind of are in over their heads once one of them realizes they're in Metropolis. They see some people in the sky flying towards them and realize pretty much done for them. They surrender to Superman, but it's not Superman, it's Blue Earth, and they don't do surrender. They crash the truck right away and start lighting it on fire, and they're not here for surrender. They're not here to take prisoners, they are here to punish criminals. But that is when Clark arrives in his new super suit from steel, because he's mostly powerless, alongside a sword, and it's fucking badass.
Looks cool.
Looks really cool. So now Steel and Superman are going up against the Blue Earth group, and they have their work cut out for them, but thankfully the Super Fam are on their way to help out, and now it's a full-on fight between the two sides. But in the fight, Otherod gets a little bit of a psychic imprint from the leader of the Blue Earth, whose name escapes me at the time.
Nora Stone.
Laura Stone, thank you. And Laura is trying to get psychic imprints on all the members
Nora,
of the
like
oh
Dr. Freeze's ex.
Nora Stone. Sorry, I said Laura Stone. I was thinking of Laura Moore from fucking
That one
Shorzy.
place.
Shorzy.
Shorzy.
Laura Moore. Yeah.
For what?
He'd be so fucking good to her. Anyway,
you really think so?
I really
What?
think so.
Or I said that. I fucked that up. Huh?
Yeah.
That's what I meant to do.
Huh?
Damn it.
Anywho, right. So Nora Stone is trying to get a psychic imprint of various members of the super fam and finds that most of them are the goody two shoes, clean up the streets and tie your shoelaces properly, brush your teeth, and all that jazz, as they so-called pretend to be, except for Othara, who is just a little bit left over from her time on Warworld, having needed to kill people and gain some chains to protect her younger brother.
Chain gang.
Okay, Cena. Chain gang. Right now, I'm gonna have to fucking listen to Thugonomics later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like that song. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You should be. Right, so Otharad gets a little bit angry with her, tries to heat vision her, but it's a psychic attack, so it's not really going to do anything. Nora just tosses something at Othara, and she snaps out of it, but the battle is already over. And the family go over to her to see if she's okay, and finds that there's a pendant, a triangle-shaped pendant, in her hand. She wasn't sure where she got it. Kara asks, but she says just something she picked up. As the fight was finishing, Clark does. Huh?
She's a liar.
Oh, she's a liar. Yeah. As the fight was finishing, Clark does try to put some hope into the Blue Earth group and say that we are here to help people, and if you have the powers you say you do, you don't need to do it the way you're doing it. Why don't you help people instead of cause damage and being bullies and whatnot? They say no, fuck you. The people are here for a show, and they just fuck around. So yeah, then back at Steelworks, Clark is getting a bit more of a power up, and from one of the machines that Natasha and John Henry have built to absorb solar energy and direct it directly into Superman and various Kryptonians. But that's when Lois arrives and says, "You need to check the news." And that's when we find out that the news is being spun by the Blue Earth group and Nora Stone, and that the battle that was taking place between Blue Earth and the Super Fam has been doctored in footage that the Blue Earth group have released to make it seem like the Super Fam are the ones causing problems and wreaking havoc and destruction on the city. Despite the fact that it was the other way around. That's when Nora Stone pops up. A freeze frame as Clark and Lois both get a sense of her looking familiar, and as Lois says she kind of looks like Bruce. That is when Clark realizes that he has met her before, back in Batman Superman The Authority Special #1. On a little multiversal adventure, they ended up in a world where Batman had joined the League of Shadows and took over for Ra's al Ghul, and him and Talia had a daughter, and Nora Stone is that daughter.
Deep cut. It's from like 4 years ago or some shit like that.
That could have been that long ago.
Dude, I want to say it was like 2019.
No, it's like last year.
Uh-uh.
That happened since Brandon and I have been on the show, and we've only been on the show for 2.5 years.
No, you just hold on here, daggum second.
That happened after Superman and the Authority. And that was just before Philip Kennedy Johnson took over. or no, just after Philip Kennedy Johnson took over. It was like maybe it was like 2021.
No, it was January 2022. God, it
Yeah.
feels like it was 700 years ago,
Right? Yeah.
or at least 4.
But it does make me want to go back and read it. But it is collected in the upcoming Superman, or maybe it's out now, Superman the Warworld Saga trade paperback. Be sure to check it out if you haven't, and if you haven't, then why the fuck are you reading this? Because you really should. Yeah. So this is when Clark realizes that this is kind of their fault. Bruce and his and this alien invasion stone that Nora keeps talking about, it's real, and it just so happens that it probably is the thing that Nora gave to Othora. And that's when it begins to activate and sucks in Othora into it. Clark arrives just in time after hearing her scream, but is too slow to actually save her from the teleportation. And then she ends up on Earth, Al Ghul, right in front of, I want to say that's Nora. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah, that's Nora Stone.
Okay.
Use a bigger screen, homie.
Yeah, I'm looking at my fucking phone. And that's when it ends. Next issue, Superman, Hellblazer, and the Demon. Which is going to be very interesting. I guess if you're going to Earth Al Ghul, you will need some magical backup. Only stands to reason. We then have
backups. There's
two backups
more after that. Jeez.
Yep. We got 2. Part 2 of the little adventure with Ken and Kong. And I say Kenan because not Keenan, because it was
pointed out.
It was very much pointed out by Gene Lewin Yang, who did the script with art from Victor Bogdanovich, colors from Mike Spicer, and letters from Dave Sharp. Being someone who has yet to read New Superman, but I have Volume 1 ready to go whenever I get around to it.
Oh, you haven't read that yet?
No, I haven't read it yet.
It is, dude. I know. I was surprisingly impressed with it. It was a very enjoyable read. I wouldn't say it should have won any Book of the Year awards, but it was a very enjoyable read for me.
Yeah. It came out during a time where there was just
a lot going on.
Yeah. It was too many books to read. And it was brand new. I'm like, I ain't got time to start another one. As interesting as this looks, I'm just like, yeah. Right, so in between what is and what is not, the Golden Bridge and the Silver Bridge, Pathways to the Afterlife, is before Kid and Kong, as well as Master... Is that typo? Master I Ching? Or is it just Master Ching?
No, it's
Readers of New Superman will know what I'm talking about, though. Right, so he is there to help Kanan with what he's got going on, and helps him with meditation to connect to his trigrams, and with the energy within.
No, it is I Ching.
I Ching, okay.
Yes.
With the energy within the trigrams, it will bring him enough life force to come back to life, since he is genetically connected to Superman, who has died and come back to life more than once. So it's very possible for Kenan to do the same thing. That's when he is found by Otho, Oso, and Connor, as well as Robin Bot. Yeah. Robin Pod.
Basically, Batman of China's version of Skeets.
Yes, but Robin themed because he's Batman. Yeah. So then they have, thanks to Robin Pod, a translated discussion where they can speak a little more freely because, language barriers. And as they get to the nitty gritty of things and just kind of come out in the open, that Clark Kent is Superman, and Connor then explains why they had to keep everything a secret between Lex Luthor and the mind bombs and whatnot. That is when Batman of China shows up with Robin drone and blasts Connor directly in the face with frickin' lasers. To which Connor is like, I don't know who the hell you are, but that hurts. Screw you. And they get into a fight. And this is where, Connor says, Keenan. This is where Batman of China goes, why do you let them call you Keenan instead of Kenan? Which is how your name is pronounced. As Kenan goes, it's easier on the American song. In my defense, I just didn't know. It's hard to know pronunciations when all you're doing is seeing the word and nobody's pronouncing it for you. Yeah. But that's why I appreciate Jin Lewin Yang doing this and giving us the proper pronunciation. Like Jin Lewin Yang, class act. Thank you.
I'm right there with you. I basically taught myself how to read. Kind of had some shitty parents, so taught myself how to read. Dove into a lot of reading, and that is why I still pronounce it comfortable.
I don't think that's a problem.
It's well, everybody else says comfortable, but it's comfortable for me.
Comfortable,
and I can't. It's because it's you're able to be comforted. So that was context clues, my friends, and I still say it wrong.
Comfortable, like those cars with the ragtops.
Funny. But yeah, that's far from the first time I've heard that.
My Ferrari's a convertible.
Comfortable. Yes.
Convertible.
No V.
Comfortable.
It's an F.
Convertible.
Yeah. Convertible. It's a comfortable.
Convertible.
Well, that's harder to say than the other one.
Yeah, it actually is. Right, so they have a little discussion. Kenan tries to get them to stop, but that is when Robin Pod asks Otho and Osel to fly Kenan away from Batman and says, you cannot tell Batman the truth. That you died and that you found out Superman's identity and all this stuff, because even if you don't tell him Superman's identity, he's one of the best deductive minds on the planet. He will figure it out and he will die. So if you have any other plans, by all means, I will tell you the one that has the least amount of chance of Batman dying, and we'll go with that. So the plan basically is Kenan goes back there, stops him, and then as Batman of China goes into what's gotten into you, you and I are a team, and that's when Kenan goes, the supers are my team now. If you want to investigate them, you'll have to go through me. And that's when Superman and Batman are like, we're basically going to another Batman v Superman.
Hopefully.
And I hope not. But this is where the story ends. Batman goes back to China. And Kenan is now an official member of the Super Fam, complete with a new leather jacket. But he's, as you see in the final panel, as much as the jacket fits great, he's none too happy about having to leave his old friend behind.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, but fair. And then we get Superman John Kent in A Heart in Metropolis, written by Dan Parents from art from Marguerite Sauvage, and letters from Dave Sharp. Very simple story. John is babysitting Otho and Osel, trying to get them to bed, and that's when Lois calls and tells them, okay, no, it's time to go to bed. And they do. And John and Lois have a discussion about how busy everyone is. Clark doing his thing, of course, being Superman, and Lois running the Daily Planet now. And while it is after 9 p.m. on a weekday, she still has a meeting that she called 20 minutes ago with the office, and the mayor is also waiting on a Zoom call. So the day's never ending in a newspaper room, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So that's when he tries to call on Jay, because he hasn't seen Jay in a bit, but Jay is also busy with his new job. But a little later on in the night, he gets a call, and the pair talk all night and agree to go on a date the next day, despite the fact that, Jay's job just basically went kaputski in the middle of the conversation. Like at 4 a.m., he got pings that the last 2 days of work he did are just destroyed because a server crashed, He has to go in and help, but John was like, nah, screw that. Play hooky. You didn't get the message. We're having a date. Just like, that's not good.
It's also not very Kent like.
No, it really isn't. But at the same time, I get it. But it's
That's not what a Kent would do.
no.
Responsibility
Right, so
before all.
yeah. So the next day for lunch, they have their lunch date, a Mexican feast. But that is at the same time. This is when the fight in Steelworks number 3 takes place. So John drops Jay off at Steelworks Tower so he can run things from inside, and Jay goes off to join the family in stopping the action outside. And then the pair meet up later to finish off their date and fall asleep on a rooftop, surrounded by their picnic lunch, and it's just very freaking cute. Clark and Lois also have a little bit of a moment saying, no, they should trust him. We don't need to go hunting him down, even though he's not answering his phone. But like parents, like, okay, let him have his space. Yeah, that was just a nice little side story for John. I liked it. Art was fantastic throughout the issue. I gotta say, loved it. I'm just going back and checking everything. There were some faces from Nora Stone I was not in love with, but everything else, freaking awesome. This is 1059. This is November. I think we have one more issue of Philip Kennedy Johnson in Action Comics, and that's depressing.
That's sad.
Yeah, at least I think it was one more issue. It might be 2, but I'm pretty sure it's only 1. Because January is when Jonathan Hickman?
What?
No, who's taking over?
It ain't Jonathan Hickman. Jonathan.
No.
Oh man. Let's see. Brandon, this is why we don't.
Jason
pay you.
Aaron. Jason Aaron. Sorry. And he started with a J, and he was from Marvel. So Jason Hickman. Can you imagine Jonathan Hickman on Action Comics though?
I can't imagine Jonathan Hickman on a DC book. He's just.
I want to.
I can't. It's Jonathan Hickman is quintessential Marvel.
He is, but people also said that about Bendis.
And look what Bendis did when he came to DC.
Yeah, but
he broke everything he touched.
But he also started to break things in Marvel. Jonathan Hickman hasn't done that.
Fair enough.
He's written 3 epic runs from 3 different Fantastic Four, Avengers, and X-Men.
Yeah.
And they've all been stellar.
Which one out of the 3 would you have to if you had to pick one to name his best, which one would you pick?
So I have not read his X-Men work. I'm just basing it off of what I read online from people's reactions, and from Brandon and Kirk. They rave about Jonathan Hickman's work on X-Men, which, knowing it's Jonathan Hickman, makes sense. His Avengers stuff was epic, but so if I'm just picking between Avengers and Fantastic Four, I'm picking Fantastic Four. Because it had a lot of heartfelt, heavy moments with the family, and it got really down to the nitty-gritty and expanded that world a lot. Between the Council of Reeds, the Future Foundation, FF, led by the fucking Ant-Man. Jesus. Not Pym. Oh my god.
Scott Lang.
Scott Lang, thank you. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be the guy to answer Marvel questions.
Yeah, like the Hickman's Fantastic Four was amazing. No, sorry, it wasn't amazing. It was fantastic. Yeah.
There's a hot take, and I wish you would have read Hickman's X-Men, but for me,
if it ever comes out in an omnibus, I'll probably pick it up.
All right, go ahead and do that. Then you'll have to. You got to read that, and then you need to tell me who is the best X-Men writer: Claremont, Hickman, or Morrison.
Bendis.
Go home. I'm done. it, guys. I quit. Goodbye.
You quit. Jesus. Okay, like full disclosure though, I did enjoy Bendis's X-Men.
Oh God.
I really didn't mind it at all. There was some interesting stuff during that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can't. Did you ever read it?
No.
So you can't even.
It's Bendis.
You don't even know.
He hasn't written anything good since he was on Moon Knight.
His Uncanny X-Men, I
Sucked.
think You didn't read it.
I don't need to.
Oh my god! I think it predates Moon Knight.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is he wrote Miles Morales.
Yeah.
The introduction of that was good. For some reason, Bendis is addicted to talking like he's a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah. But so that's the thing. You did not get any of that in Uncanny X-Men. The characters were actually well written, and it gave a much deeper sense for Scott Summers. And you got really down to the core of his character. Of course, this was post Avengers versus X-Men, when Scott, along with 4 other mutants, were taken over by the Phoenix Force, and in the throes of the Dark Phoenix, Scott killed Xavier. And then he became a pariah to the entire mutant race. So you got a dark Scott, and it was really well done.
Okay.
Yeah. AVX, not fantastic, but Uncanny X-Men was actually really well done. And alongside you had Wolverine and the X-Men, because Wolverine was the only X-Man left at the mansion that wanted to run it. Not written by Bendis, but also fucking fantastic. It was Logan, like, running a school.
Mm-hmm.
And being a professor. That. Yeah, that was fun as fuck. That gave us Kid Omega, which is one of Kirk's favorite characters of all time.
I did not read that faithfully, but I am aware of when that came out.
Yeah, that was
I read
good.
every single issue of Morrison's run. I feel confident in saying that I've read 70% of Claremont's, and
right
Hickman's was just as good as the two of those.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where Hickman goes next. Apparently, his X-Men run is wrapping up soon, and then we'll see where he goes next. Like what book he's going to tackle after X-Men, if he even has a plan, or if he's going to take a stab at DC, because I would fucking love it if he
if you get Hickman to come back and have him be the one that brings back the Justice League. Holy shit.
Bruh. Oh my god. It would be on a scale of Scott Snyder's Justice League, but good.
Wow, that was just rude.
Look. I think we can all say at this point that Snyder's Justice League had its moments, but it was not great.
I will say that it is among his weakest contributions to DC.
It's among his weakest contributions to comics.
Oh, you're just kind of mean.
Yeah, it's nice for a change, isn't it?
Well, it's his independent stuff is fucking phenomenal now.
Oh god,
his
Justice that's what League, I mean. If you compare it to that, it's just
his Justice League was weak. I'm just being a shit, but it had its moments. But he's
like it definitely had some good stuff, but it wasn't top tier.
No,
especially compared to
him with his
Batman
dark
run.
stuff.
Yeah,
he's way more at home in the heavy metals.
His Batman run was awesome all the way through.
Yeah.
Even super heavy.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Oh, okay.
I like to make fun of Bat Bunny. No, yeah. I mean, I like to make fun of it. You'll never see me grabbing a McFarlane figure, but it was done.
I love it if Rookie had a McFarlane figure.
Rookie does have a McFarlane figure.
Not the Bat Bunny.
Look it up.
Jim Gordon Batman does.
Huh?
Jim Batman has it, but I swear Rookie doesn't.
No, I gotta look it up now.
In fact, I'm tempted to get Gordon Batman, but I'm pretty sure Bat Bunny doesn't have one unless it's a Build-A-Figure. In which case, what am I doing with my life? I need to get that fucking figure. Anyway, Action Comics. Yeah. Art stellar throughout. Right, I was getting on the something with Philip Kennedy Johnson. One more issue. It feels so weird. It feels like he has so much more story to tell, but knowing there's 1 or 2 issues left, and it's just gonna end. Like, it's almost lackluster that this is the last arc. It's crazy, and this almost feels like it almost does feel like a penultimate issue. Like, okay, we're getting some answers now, and now we're going to go into the grand finale, and it just feels so tame in comparison. You got something? Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's real. I told you.
Is it a Build-A-Figure or is it an actual figure?
It's a Build-A-Figure.
Okay. What wave is that from? If you
that
can see.
I have to look up.
Okay, I'll see if I can find that later. So yeah, I just fuck, man. And I'm loving PKJ's Action Comics. I'm sad to see him go. I'm very excited to see what Jason Aaron has for 3 issues. But I'm going to miss PKJ on Action Comics. This is a bad move, much like it was a bad move to take Jeremy Adams off the Flash. DC, what are you doing? DC, stop. Backups were nice. Like 8 out of 10. Like it's all I can say is 8 out of 10. It's not perfect. It's just sad that this is how it ends.
Okay. So, I am a huge Philip Kennedy Johnson fan. There's a couple problems that I got here. One is calling it Earth Al Ghul. That we don't do that. They go by numbers, not by letters or by names. If it's an Earth, it gets a numbered designation. Period. I feel like what's happening in the issue was very broadcast from the get-go of this arc. We all knew that she was going to be turning bad. I don't feel like this issue really added anything to the story. I love you, PKJ, but I feel like you kind of missed the mark on this one. There just wasn't anything that happened. The art throughout the first 2 parts of the issue is great, though. The first backup with Kenan was it was good. I mean, it's all done now. And the second one, Rob, you're gonna want to take your headphones off. I am so sick of date issues. I'm also sick of Marguerite Sauvage. This art drawing this shit just to be pretty is ridiculous. It is bad art. It is bad art. You like guys with curly hair. I get it. John Kent doesn't have curly hair like that. You're throwing shit on. He also doesn't have all white eyes, where yes, you have a slight tint of blue in some of them, but there are several panels where there's no color to it whatsoever. This sounds super duper gatekeeper, but I don't care. Date issues are for manga and manga alone, not for taking over a whole slew of pages for a fucking date. It's dumb and it's unnecessary, and it steals pages from what could be great stories. I know half of the people love these date issues. I know half of the people will want a date issue with LGBTQIA members. But this is more than just a one-off. This has been happening more and more frequently. And frankly, seeing a date issue has become worse than a filler story for me. I don't like the art. I don't like the presence of the date. I don't like it if it's John and Jay. I don't like it if it's Dick and Supergirl. I don't. They shouldn't be happening. Okay. Riff off. PKJ. First time I've ever said this. Kind of unimpressive. Again, amazing art. The story wasn't bad in the first one. I enjoyed the Ken and stuff. So I'm going to give Action Comics a 7 out of 10. And I want to go lower just because of the inclusion of Marguerite Sauvage in a date issue.
Oh my god. Date issue, one thing, okay, fine. But Marguerite Sauvage ain't bad, man.
Marguerite Sauvage has literally drawn every story I adamantly hate as a backup. Going all the way back to the beginning of Young Diana. I mean, it's this fantastical shit that should be present in DC superhero girls. 100%. This art would be amazing in DC superhero girls. I would still see it because my two young ones love DC superhero girls. They have seen every single movie. This would work there. This does not work here. It doesn't work here. Somehow you managed to make dark blue even look like a fucking pastel. Yeah, not cool.
No, Marguerite Sauvage didn't do Young Diana. That's Paulina Ganucheau.
Okay, well then they trade back and forth then. Same fucking shit. It's the cartoony fantasy frou-frou shit that should be left to manga and to books for young children. I don't enjoy it whatsoever.
Did you enjoy the Power Girl specials?
Yes. No.
The one with
wait.
Johnny
In the
Sorrow?
back?
No, there was a one-off issue with Johnny Sorrow.
Oh, I liked the story. The
Ullman.
Art was really. It was just like this, so I don't know if it was Sauvage or Ganucheau, but
that was Sauvage.
Okay, it was just like this, and it's like, meh.
It's really like the pastels are very light.
Okay,
but like the
can you see the page that I'm looking at right now?
Yeah.
She pays more attention, or they pay more attention to making sure that they have too much highlight on cheekbones than they do to making sure that faces are drawn right. Or bodies. Is she trying to give Nightwing a run for his money here?
Okay, but then you see that like this panel.
This is trash. You see this?
Looks fucking fine.
You can't pick. Well, it's the same exact art style, and you can't pick one panel out to excuse. That would be like picking.
You're also picking one panel out to say it's bad.
I just flipped up two.
I didn't see the second one.
There's this one. This is the one that I started out on. What's wrong with this?
Yeah.
What is that? Why is John Kent half Medusa?
His hair is messy.
His hair is messy everywhere.
Yeah, his hair is always
every single look. This is a fucking scribble. That's not even drawing. That's a fucking scribble. 2 dots for eyes. Scribbles. Scribbles. She tried there. Scribbles. Scribbles. Pastels. How do you make dark blue look like this? It's ridiculous. Look at John here. Like, she puts highlighter on every character. Like it's Instagram. This isn't fucking Instagram. It's a goddamn comic book. Stop it. Stop it.
Look at this from Clayton Henry.
You're not gonna win with Clayton Henry on me because I'm not a Clayton Henry fan.
Oh my fucking god.
Clayton Henry to me is like the founding father of the Six Head. I'm having a tough time seeing that one. Okay,
Pretty
that's a little
sure
bit better.
the interior art was Kian Torme, so I think the cover might have been too, but I can't be sure. But messy hair.
Not
It's all
like
over the
this.
place.
Not like
it's the
that.
Oh my god.
It's that you're gonna tell me that cover looks like somebody took a Sharpie and scribbled, because
Oh
that's
my- it's-
exactly what this shit looks like. Somebody took a
my
marker
point
and
is
scribbled.
messy hair. That's the whole thing.
If you got messy hair, okay, fine, draw messy hair, but don't just throw a goddamn marker on it. Throw it around in a couple circles.
That's her art style.
Her art style. That's my argument. Her art style is trash. That's my
Your
argument.
Trash art style.
I have never. You know what? That's why I don't draw comics.
No, I didn't say you have a trash art style. I said you are a trash art style.
Well, I have a trash art style, and that's why I don't draw comics.
Yeah.
Not even when I have comic books sitting here with scripts and everything. I'm still not going to illustrate them. Because it's garbage. I don't want to be the subject of another podcast where they rant about, like I do with Paula Gunner Show or Savage or Riley Rosmo or Tom Rainey. I wouldn't do that to people. I'm nicer than that.
Maybe you should, and then you'll see how you make those guys feel.
I know I'm shit. I'm not gonna go out there and say, hey, maybe somebody will like my shit. Do you like it? Does it smell good? It's a little fragrant.
Got a symbiote
Kind of smells
in your
like
back.
breakfast. What?
Gonna go do a jazz number or no fucking reason?
No, I'm not.
Bully Maguire ripoff.
Bully Maguire ripoff. I just saw a picture of Robert Pattinson as Batman again, and whenever I see that picture of him with the red background, all I can think of is him sitting there with a cigarette like that, listening to jazz. It's like, motherfucker,
Why?
You're not Batman, because he doesn't look like Batman. He looks like somebody who thinks he's edgy and cool.
Oh, I'm Batman.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, so that was Action Comics, and that was our show.
It was.
Oh, wait, Brandon has notes.
Notes.
Oh, God. I really wish Brandon was here. We'd have, like, full-on discussion. So he's like, fuck, I did not see that coming, and I remembered that one shot with the Authority rescue one of the Fugernauts, but I didn't think that was going to go anywhere. I love the tease that Ulsara might turn towards the dark side, even though I don't want that. And I'm wondering how the hell they're going to make their way back to the dark multiverse. Constantine, maybe, according to next month's solicit. Anyway, the fact that there's only 2 issues left in this run is killing me, but hey, at least we got to enjoy the ride. One thing I am worried about is how the story plans to wrap the Fire of Ulgrin subplot that they teased with Othara and the New Gods. Are we not going to get to that? Or maybe get to it in another book? Hopefully it's the latter, and hopefully it's not just a rushed ending that tries to do everything in one issue. Although if PKJ found a clever way to tie together Blue Earth and the Dark Multiverse story and the Fire of Ulgrin story, that would be really impressive. But personally, I'd like to see that explored elsewhere if possible. Anyway, good shit as usual, and I plan to cry many tears when this run ends. But if reading comics has taught me anything, it's that a good run is really just the friends we made along the way. That brings me back to Halloween when I was bugging the shit out of my nephew for like an hour. I just constantly making "it's the friends we made along the way" jokes.
Oh boy,
he's 14. He was getting pissed off. Score 8.5 out of 10. Yes. So I want to know where you two got this idea that Ulsara's going to go dark side.
Because that's what Nora Stone is trying to do. She's pulling her in there, tempting her with, don't you feel the evil? You are something different than this. You're a warrior. You tie bed sheets around your wrists at night so you can pretend you still have the chains.
I mean, that happened, yeah, but like doesn't mean that I think Ulsara is going to go bad. It's
I
just
think
Nora
that's what
saying
they're
like
leaning
they're
toward,
trying to
is trying
tease
to
it, but like
recruit her to the
I
dark side.
really don't think it's gonna happen.
Othel,
She's a good person through and through.
come to the dark. No, she's not. She's kind of a shit. I mean,
No.
she's
What?
definitely a super fam, but she
Yeah.
is the most violent of the super fam, and she is very quick to temper, and she doesn't understand human emotions at all yet.
She's getting
The
there.
only thing that the closest thing that she has to human emotions is her love of Lois Lane.
Like she came from a world of war where she had to kill to survive and protect her little brother.
Her brother did too.
She-
Same
she-
age and everything. Same age and everything. And
Yeah,
he's
they were
just
even
fine.
hang but they even said in this that she killed to protect her younger brother.
Yeah, she was more vicious.
Yeah, like
They're twins,
to,
though.
like,
They were the same
prevent
age.
That's what I was thinking, but in this issue they said she's the older one.
But they are twins. I mean, you can have older twins. They don't come out at the same time. Jesus Christ, women would never have twins if they came out at the exact same time.
takes vaginal tearing to a whole new level.
Portal to the dark multiverse.
Oh dear God.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I don't know, she
Right
didn't
after
say it, but
delivering
you're like,
twins
oh
at the
dear
same
God.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know,
Yeah.
I still don't think she's gonna go dark side.
I
think
hope not, but I
she's
feel like
had
that's
enough of a connection to the superfan that they've made an impression on her.
it's possible. I think
that's what
she's
I think.
too young to be a mainstay villain.
Yeah.
To be the villain. But to
I think
have her
she's-
tempted to the dark side is definitely a possibility, 100%.
What I was getting at though was that like she's got trauma, she's got PTSD, but her brother seems to be doing okay, acclimating to Earth, and I think she is too, because they both carry that trauma from them, and Clark knows it firsthand because he was living it, albeit nowhere near as long as they did, but he does know what they went through. So if anybody can help them, it's Clark, and if anybody is going to be the person that they choose to side with because they saved them, it's Clark. I really don't see Osora going dark side against Clark after Clark was the one that liberated them from hell. That's the thing.
She's having a problem letting go of the fact that she's having a problem accepting that it was hell. That's what she knew. She was more vicious than her same age twin brother, who they came out at the exact same time. I'm just kidding. She's slightly older. They're twins though, so they're separated by maybe an hour. And she was just the more vicious of the two.
Yeah.
But in any case, I think she's there. That's part of the story, is that Nora Stone is going to try and tempt her to the dark side. She may be swayed a little bit and then brought back to the fold. I think she's too young to have her go full villain. But I definitely think that this is what the whole thing is about, is Nora Stone trying to take her and make her a big ass villain. Because I mean, she flat out says it, that she's a big part of her plans.
Yeah.
Nora does.
I don't know. There's not much time left to
Nope.
really wrap up.
One
all
or two
the
issues. I
fucking
think Brandon
story.
just said there's 2 more issues.
I don't think he mentioned. He just said it was wrapping up soon.
Okay. But yeah, if it's being taken over in January, if Jason Aaron's getting it in January, there can only be 1 more issue.
Realistically, yeah. All right. In the interest of time, I'm gonna say let's cut on over to our top 3 books.
Sounds
of the week.
good.
Favorite moment, if you had one. Josh, want to kick us off?
Number 3 is coming from our bonus show. So you're going to have to tune in to see why. But it is Titans Beast World. I am giving number 2 to Harley. And it was very difficult for me to pick between the two, of Harley and what I gave to first place, Detective Comics. They're just both real good. Detective Comics was more serious, and that is what made me put that in the front spot. I'll share my overall favorite moment in the bonus show, because that's where it comes from, is one of those books. But for this part, I'll say that it's probably when Harley chases her watchers away by threatening them with a trip to the vet and getting a thermometer shoved up their butts.
Yeah. That was good.
That was, I laughed. I'm like, that is a total dog.
I can tell you Brandon's. I don't know what order he has it in, because he just has his bullet points, not numbers.
Well, we go third to first, so I'm assuming that's what he did.
Yeah, but it does seem kind of. I got 8.5.
No, watch, they're all 8.5.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, so number 3. He said maybe Detective Comics when I read it, but for now, Power Girl number 3. Number 2, The Flash number 3, and number 1, Action Comics number 1059. And his favorite moment was going to be my favorite moment. Damn it, Brandon, you took it. I know
don't read it first.
I have the power, but like I can come up with a backup, and I do have a backup, but Brandon can't. So it's Impulse showing up in Flash number 3, and just like being Impulse with pumpkin spice pickles.
Really.
Ooh, what's that? I'm gonna poke it with a stick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go find it.
It's a really good stick.
Yeah. I audibly laughed out loud when I was reading while he was like trapped in between dimensions in the statue world. He was just sitting there, and you just see a stick poke him in the cheek. You're like, oh my fucking god, Bart did it. Bart goes like, sorry, Wally, I couldn't help it.
Right.
He let the inner voice take over.
Indeed.
As for me, shit, what was it? I had my top 3 listed, and I just fucking forgot what they were. Number 3, I'm going to give to Harley Quinn number 34. Number 2 and 1 are also from our bonus show. Number 2, Alan Scott, the Green Lantern number 2, and number 1, Titans Beast World number 1. Was I'm not going to get too into it, but it was a hell of a surprise. I'll say that. Favorite moments, I'll say, was Asbats appearing in Detective Comics was just badass.
Man,
yeah.
They drew him so good.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking, like, if that was the reveal in a cartoon or a movie, that would have been a moment that ends up on YouTube. Like,
oh god,
the next day. Yeah, that would have been like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, you would have heard the collective
yeah.
in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
That was badass, especially when they teased it last issue in the backup that he was looking at the suit, and then here he is in this issue, like just tears out of a fucking truck. Like,
right.
What were you even doing there? I was waiting for a crime. Yeah, it's my bat truck. It's where my bat cave is. Anyway,
fucking
folks,
the angels.
These fucking angels.
Well, that's what Azrael is pissed off about.
In the back of the truck.
His dark angel. That's what he said in the previous issue.
Wasn't that a show from Jessica Alba?
Oh God, I think it was. Oh,
Jessica Alba was Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to piece together some conspiracy, but I can't think of one. So anyway,
we'll
that's
get
our
back
show.
To you on that.
Yeah, well, I'll build the conspiracy. I'll bring it back next week. Okay, so that's our show for the week. Thank you for joining us all. Don't forget, subscribe to our Discord for access to our bonus show, free discussion with us, and all sorts of fun shenanigans. We're often doing like random quizzes from Josh Badley explaining things with hats that don't have hats, much to the chagrin of Isaiah and myself. Thank God you're done with the hats. Uh, bro, it's not a hat. It's a turban. That's a turban?
It looks like bandages.
That's one of my favorite moments of all time.
Fucking Vegeta. Fucking Vegeta.
What Vegeta? Huh?
That was Vegeta. Or no, it was Piccolo.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why it's Josh's dumb trivia, because Josh doesn't know the characters and he tries to describe them without any previous knowledge.
Yeah, this other guy also wears a hat. Cell. That's not a fucking hat, bro. that's his head.
Oh, it looks like his hat. He's got a hat head.
He's got, yeah, it's the worst case of hat head I've ever seen. Oh,
all right,
man.
you can
Yeah,
get
it's
to the
fun
Discord
trivia.
and everything else that Rob said by visiting the geekmatrixpod.com. So that is it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel. And like we said, that is the show. So we are getting out of here. You have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.